Hey there, this is John's Mate Reviews, and I'm John. And today is another beautiful sunny day in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So it's starting to get a little bit cold here. We're about 37 degrees Fahrenheit today, or if you're in common units, about 2 to 3 degrees C. So I'm really looking forward to sipping a nice warm mate and talking about it with you guys. Which brings me into what we will be reviewing today. So today I have with me Taragui Maracuya, or if you're an Anglophone like me, Taragui Passionfruit. I'm really excited to review this because I reviewed Taragui Oriental Orange, and that mate really stuck out to me as being a phenomenal blend of mate with an orange flavor. It wasn't too sweet, it wasn't too caffeinated, it was a very balanced experience. It had a high durability, and I'm a big fan of Taragui. As I've talked about in the past on this channel, Taragui was one of the first mate brands that I ever tried, so I'm a little bit nostalgic for it, and I'm very excited to give it a shot. So, if you don't know what passion fruit is, it's not really that popular of a fruit up here in the United States. It's a tropical fruit that kind of tastes like a mango, but a little bit more sour. So, if you've never tried passion fruit before, I would recommend giving that a shot before trying this mate, just to know what you're going in for. And it also just helps, to train your brain to know what flavors to look for, in my opinion. So, with that, let's get into the scent. So the scent is very sweet, and I was kind of surprised when I was reviewing this. When I was doing my research throughout the week on this and trying it out, the scent is sweeter than Oriental Orange. An Oriental Orange, it was a lot more subdued. It could just be because orange is a less pungent flavor to begin with, but this it smells much more sweet than it does smoky, and that really surprised me because in my experience, my limited experience with flavored Taraguis, the flavor has not been that pronounced, and it's been more of a mate with a splash of whatever fruit it's trying to flavor itself with. But with that, I would say the passion fruit scent just really comes out and grabs you on the nose, and it makes its presence known to you. And it also has a little bit of an orange scent to it, too, which I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but there's a little splash of orange in this guy as well, which is probably a good choice because orange goes well in every mate, in my opinion. So with that, let's get into the leaf quality. So you're going to see it has that traditional con palo cut, and it's very powdery. And you're going to see that when I shake my gourd, my hand comes off with a lot of powder on it. It is going to have stems in it, so just keep that in mind. But it's also going to have passion fruit seeds, which is where the passion fruit flavor comes from. So kind of neat. I really like mates when you can actually see bits of where the flavor comes from. It's just cool to me. So keep that in mind. So a good leaf quality. It's a Taragui. You're going to be unlikely to find any nasty stuff in there. They're a very established brand. In all my years of drinking Taragui, I've never found any crap in it. So just keep that in mind. So with that, let's get into the flavor. So I'm on about cycle 5 or 6 right now, and you still get, even on the 6th or 5th or 6th cycle, I think I'm closer to the 7th cycle, but you still get that very sweet passion fruit flavor, and it's a it's a very complex flavor, and this kind of gets into my thoughts on the flavor of this mate. It's not a bad flavor by any means, but passion fruit on its own is a very complex flavor, just as mate is. And in my humble opinion, I don't think they mix that well. Again, I wouldn't describe it as bad, but what's going on in my mouth right now is just this cacophony of the smoky Argentine flavor butting heads with this complex passion fruit where it's sweet and it's sour, and again, it's not terrible. If you're somebody that absolutely loves passion fruit to death, I could see this being a good mate for you. But to me, I just don't think they mix all that well. Now, it's not terrible, but I would just describe it as chaotic. And this is another thing I'm going to mention. So earlier in this week, I'm running my mate temperature right now is about 60, 65 C, right? So warm, but on the cooler end of things. Earlier this week, I tried around 80, 85 C, and the flavor tasted like burnt fruit. It was not a good flavor at all. So that is another thing to keep in mind with this mate. If you are going to drink it hot or warm, make sure to use a milder mate temperature. I wanted to try it with ice today, but I went in my freezer, and unfortunately all my ice cubes were gone. So this is the best I could do. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. The flavor is very complex, and if you pour in water that's too hot, you're probably not going to have that great of an experience with the flavor. So with that, let's get into the durability. I will say the durability is very high on this mate. I have never, again, I usually am done by my 12th cycle, and in my time of drinking this mate across the week, I've never felt that I needed to refill my gourd or pour new leaves in there. In my reading, I've read that people can go up to 20 to 23 cycles with this mate without losing any flavor or durability, so keep that in mind. This is a pretty durable mate, as you'd expect with any Taragui. And with that, the caffeine content isn't too bad either. The caffeine content I would describe as being very similar to our Oriental Orange or any other Taragui for the matter, where, you know, it's there. It gives you a boost, but it's not like... It's not like when I was drinking CBSA Pomelo, the caffeine content just really punched me in the gut. I'm not getting that with this. I'm getting a nice smooth buzz without being too shaken up, which is very good. So with that, let's get into the price. So I picked this up off of goyerbamate.com for around $6. So very competitive price. And that would mean about $12 for a 2.2 pound bag of Taragui, which is about on par with where the prices were at 2 years ago. I've noticed a lot of mates have skyrocketed in price over the past 2 years, so it's nice to see a few brands that are still kind of, you know, holding the fort of cheap, affordable mate, especially for a flavored mate too. Do keep in mind that off of goyerbamate.com you have to pay for shipping, so that's going to be an increased price. But if you purchase, I think it's over $50 worth of mate from there, the shipping is free. So again, just something to keep in mind. So what would I review this mate at overall? Unfortunately, I can't give this more than 3.5 stars. And the reason for that is the flavor to me is very uncanny. I don't think that the passion fruit mixes that well with the mate flavor. It's just that earthy flavor, that earthy aftertaste, and that sour passion fruit aftertaste. I like either of them in their respective you know, where they belong. I just don't think they mix well together, and that's unfortunately where I have to put it. Again, everything else, like, it's a Taragui, it's great. Like, the durability is great. The caffeine content is pretty middle of the road. So, you know, if you're more sensitive to caffeine, this is still something you can drink. Or if you want more caffeine, you can drink more of this, but the durability is a lot higher. But I just, man, the flavor, it's just not my flavor. And again, maybe this is a flavor that somebody else is going to really enjoy. So again, I would say if you're a big fan of passion fruit, give this a shot. But to me, it's just not what I look for in a mate. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate everybody that's been subscribing and watching my content lately. It's been nice to watch a little community form around this channel and seeing all the comments rolling in and seeing everybody recommending video topics. So it's fun. If you guys enjoyed, I would really appreciate it if you guys dropped a like. It helps me get my content out to more people, and it helps me grow the channel. I would also recommend, if you enjoyed this video, to subscribe. My content will come up in your recommended feed a lot more, and you'll be notified when I drop new videos. So I would also like to drop a teaser of some videos I have coming up next. So we've got CBSA Miel, or CBSA Honey. Really excited to try this one. I've been enjoying CBSA a lot. We've got goyerbamate.com's Mr. Crafty. Now, this is an interesting leaf quality because it actually has orange peels and dark brown sugar in the mate, so I'm looking forward to giving this a shot and dropping my thoughts on that. And we've also got, and this is probably what's going to be coming out next week, CBSA Regulace. And I actually enjoyed this. I tried this yesterday. I'm collecting my thoughts on it, and this review is going to be dropping next week. So stay tuned. And again, if you guys have any other mates that I have to, or that you want me to review after I'm done with this wave, please let me know down below. I've been taking notes on the mates that people have been commenting on my prior videos. So thank you guys. Take care and keep on sipping mate.